Hi there, this is Jay Cox. I'm going to give us a tutorial on how to do integration and differentiation in the MathCad software. MathCad being a powerful mathematics tool to help with a lot of grunt work calculations, and actually it's a very powerful program. It does many things. First thing we're going to do is open the software. We're going to go to Start, All Programs, MathCad, MathCad 14. We're going to click. So we're going to get that to load up. Differentiation and integration is a calculation that's done in calculus that can be very difficult at times depending on the formula you're dealing with. So once students learn how to do this manually, this can be a very valuable tool to save a lot of time that lets them get to even deeper concepts and not have to spend time trying to do these calculations manually. So we have the software open here. The first thing I recommend doing is getting your toolbar set up. That'll help you immensely in doing what you want to do quickly. So we go up to Tools. Actually, I'm sorry, let's go to View, Toolbars. I like to open the Math toolbar because that'll give us a lot of buttons that we can quickly open other toolbars with. Once we have that, you can see right here is open. Let's open the Calculator toolbar. And then there also is a Calculus toolbar, and let's open that one right there. And the final one that I always like to have open is the Evaluation toolbar. If you're doing calculus work, these three will pretty much get you everything you need to do. The first step in calculation, in calculus that everyone's learned, is differentiation. So we're going to do that first. Always up here, right in this area where you see the cursor going around, is our workspace. This little yellow or red X plus mark here is where you're going to be active on the screen. I like to kind of move and get myself down into this position right there. So the first thing we're going to do is a differentiation. We come over here, we get to this dx, and there's always a pop-up window, so if you're not sure what anything is, you can just hover over it and it'll give you that little pop-up. So it says, do you want to do a derivative? And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to differentiate a formula and take the derivative of it. So we go ahead and click on that. That's going to automatically bring that formula up. The first thing it's going to ask for is, what variable are we going to use? We'll go ahead and use the standard x, which happens a lot of times. So now we have a d over dx, so we're going to differentiate a formula in the variable x. You can see where the little blue line is there. I should use that, and that's where the current typing situation is. So what you're going to want to do is, once you're at this point, you're going to hit the right arrow, and you're going to see that move over a little bit to this next little black box there. So if we hit the right arrow on your keyboard, that's going to put you up into this position, and you can see that blue has moved over. It's now ready for us to type our formula in. We're going to go ahead and use a third-degree equation. You'll use your number pad. You can also use this calculator over here to type in numbers too. In fact, just for this demonstration, I'll go ahead and do that. I'm usually a number keyboard thing, but this will let you see all the way. So I'm just going to go with the formula. We're going to go 4. I'm going to go ahead and type in an x, because that's the variable we're going to use, and you can see it over here creating it. Now we want to take this to a cubed value, so we want to take it to 4x cubed. So what you do is, if you want to just do a squared, you can use this one here. If you want to use any other exponent and raise that variable to a power, this gives us the chance to do that. So we click on that. You can see over here that it raises it up. We're going to go ahead and now type in click in a 3. And so that's going to get it up there. Now to get to the next part of our equation, again, watch that blue thing. We're going to hit the right arrow key, and that's going to move it to the next stage. Now we're going to go ahead and we want to add another term to this. So we go over to the plus over here on the calculator toolbar. See where my cursor is. So we're going to hit plus. And now we're going to go ahead and do, let's just say 7. I'm going to type in an x because I'm going to get my variable in there again. And we're going to go ahead and make this squared. And for this, I can just type in this, click on this square button right there. And you see it puts it in there right away. Always be careful. Anytime it moves up into exponent mode, you're always going to want to hit that right arrow key when you're ready to get another term going in. Because if I just type more stuff in now, it's going to go ahead and add to that exponent. So you can see I just hit the right arrow key, and we can see that it's on ready for the next thing. We're going to go ahead and go plus to that. Let's just say 29x. And we're going to just go no exponent on that, so we're going to just go plus that. Let's go ahead and just say plus 3. And let's just say that's the formula we want to differentiate. Now in MathCad, there's multiple ways to evaluate these equations. You can evaluate it to get a numerical answer. If we want to do that kind of thing, you actually would use an equal sign. And it again pops up evaluate numerically. We want to actually evaluate symbolically because we're not going to come out with an exact number. We're going to come out with another formula. To do that, if you're going to do symbolically, you want to think of these arrow keys over here on the evaluation toolbar. So we're going to go ahead and click on that now, and that's going to add that arrow to the end of that thing. So now we have basically, we're saying we're going to differentiate this formula with respect to x. We have a third degree equation here within these parentheses, and at the end here we have an arrow that says we're going to evaluate that symbolically, and we're going to get a formula out of that. Once you're satisfied with what you have, go ahead and just hit enter. It'll give you a green thing. It means it's thinking about it, and then it's going to pop out the formula here at the end. And so the differentiation of this formula with respect to x is 12x squared plus 14x plus 29, and that would be the solution for that. Now we're going to go to the next step, and we're going to integrate. So let's go ahead and integrate this formula that we have. Now the integration process should take us back somewhat to this formula here by the fundamental rule of calculus. All you calculus students would understand what I'm saying there. So, and again, to do this, it's very easy, and everyone knows that differentiation is not too difficult for a lot of students. Integration can be very difficult. So we're going to go ahead and integrate. So we're going to make sure where our red X is and our red plus sign, and it's right there, and that's a fine place to work. So we're going to come over to the calculus toolbar, and we get to that indefinite integral sign. So we're going to go ahead and click on that, and that says, hey, we're going to want to do an integration. So it automatically comes up. Anytime if you don't like the position of it, you can hover over your formula area where you see those boxes around. Wait till you get a hand, right or left click, pull down, you can move it around wherever you want. This is not like Excel where you're really boxed into boxes and grids and columns and all that. It's pretty free-flowing of how it can flow and where you can do your equations at. So this gives me the integral sign automatically, and now it's sitting here waiting for me to put a formula in. Well, we're going to go ahead and use this formula right there. So I'm going to go ahead and come back over to my calculator toolbar, and we're going to go ahead and go 12. I'm going to hit X. We're going to make it squared, so I can just use this button real easy. And remember, now we're up in an exponent. I want to get out of that, so it's a right arrow key. And then we're going to go plus, and then it's going to be 14. And I'm going to hit the X again, and then it's going to be plus, and then it's going to be 29. So now we have that formula in. Now just like we differentiated it with a respect to a certain variable, x in the case above, we need to integrate it with respect to a certain variable. Our formula here, or equation I should say, carries the x in it. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to click over here near that box, and you can see that blue line there that kind of tells me where I'm at. So that's saying it's waiting to fill that box in, and I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, we want to integrate this with the variable x. As most calculus students know, you can actually work with multiple variables, and this program actually can handle that, but that would be for another lesson right now. So now I'm at the end of this line. Now again, I have to tell this the software what I want to do with this calculation. Do I want to get a number out of it? And again, in this case, again, we're dealing with variables, so I want to get an evaluation symbolically. So we come back over here to our arrow, click on that, it puts it in. It looks like we're all complete. When I hit the enter key, it's going to go through a thinking thing. It gives that green box when it's thinking, and the light bulb on the cursor. And as you can see, integration takes a little bit longer because it's a little bit tougher for it. And out pops this formula, which is was pretty much the formula we started with, except for the non-variable term. And as calculus students know, that's an immaterial term once you start differentiating it, since it did not have a variable attached to it. It becomes kind of meaningless. And so now we've learned how, and this software can handle integration of quotient formulas, multiplication. We just did an addition. You can do a subtraction. It can do complex formulas. So it can handle quite a bit of things. And as most second-year calculus students know, that you can get into some pretty ugly equations. So this can save it could take an hour to integrate certain formulas, and so this can save a lot of time. As always, this MathCad has like most softwares, has a very extensive help menu, and it can help you here quite a bit. All of these buttons could be found through these upper menus, but it sure is much easier if you get your toolbars out and ready for use. I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and I hope it helps you out. Thanks.